What's up? What's up? We are live. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Apple Home Talk live stream. Live stream all about building a smart home in the Apple ecosystem specifically, but we dabble in a little bit of everything. I hope you guys are doing well and having a good week so far. Staying warm. It's been kind of cold here lately, which I don't normally get to say too often. So, one of those things, every now and then we get a little cold front around here. We actually got snow, so that was kind of unusual. And then it's been back up to, I don't know what was the temperature today. It was like in the 50s or something. It's not been too bad for the last 2 days. All the snow is melting. Thank you, Frederick. What's up, Frederick? Looks and sounds great. Appreciate the feedback. Brian, what's up, Brian? Finally hit the 20s in Michigan. Whew. Yeah, that's too cold for me. Torin, what's up, Torin? Let's say hey to everybody in the chat real quick, and then we'll get rolling. We got some smart home news, some new products and stuff like that we can chat about, which is always fun to do. And then, of course, we'll answer questions. We'll probably get right to the questions and just chatting with you guys. That's always my favorite part anyways, but feel free to ask anything you like. I do ask if you're in the live stream watching this live and you have a question, just comment with the word question at the beginning of your comment to help it stick out, and I will save those and try to get back to them. George Langerbeer, what's up, George? How's it going, man? How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Let's see, who else we got? HomeKit from France. What's up, man? Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. We got Mississippi in the house. What's up, Jose? Mississippi. Steven, what's up, Steven or Stefan? I'm not sure which way to pronounce that. From Denmark. Good to see you here, man. John Wolf, what's up? Florida had snow. Yeah, I know. Crazy, man. Crazy when our friends down in Florida are getting snow. You got iguanas and lizards just dropping out of the trees left and right. Crazy. Back up to 72. Okay, we got Carl from Florida, 72. So back to normal down there in Florida. Very nice, very nice. I need to get back down to Florida here soon. Speaking of Florida, what's up, Edgar? Edgar's Home Tech. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. And for all the members, I see we do have some members here in the chat. Today is the first Wednesday of the month, so we're doing our members hangout over in Discord after this stream. So I wanted to go ahead and mention that. About 30 minutes after we end this stream today, we'll be doing that member hangout in our member Discord server. So if you are a channel member and you haven't joined the Discord server yet, go ahead and do that. You got about an hour and a half or so to do that, and then like I said, you'll get access to all the channels, everything over there in our Discord server. All you have to do is just link your YouTube account in your Discord user settings, and you'll have access to our server. Lone Star Trent, what's up, man? Glad you could make it. Good to see you here. Oh, South Africa in the house, 30 degrees Celsius. All right, we got people from all over the place. Let's see who else we got here. Sorry if I missed you. The chat was kind of flying by already. Oh, nice. Juan, what's up, Juan? Loving the Aqara U400. That's awesome. I am too, man. I'm glad to hear you like it as well as much as I like it. It sounds like, excuse me, I saw that the Aqara, they have the like special edition now available in the Apple stores. So I've been tempted, really tempted to maybe pick one of those up next time I am near an Apple store, which doesn't happen very often because I don't have an Apple store near me, unfortunately, but I might be around one soon, and I am quite tempted to get one of those, exclusive Apple Store editions of the Aqara U400. Just an awesome lock. Very cool lock. Terry White, what's up, Terry? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Having a good week here. Carl from the UK. What's up, Carl? John Wolf, Sincerio M1S, finally a smart smoke detector in HomeKit. Yeah, that one supports Matter over Thread, I believe. Nice, got a smoke detector with Matter over Thread. Oh, Hair Riot, what's up, man? Tempted to get one of the Apple editions as well. Yeah, I'm thinking really hard about it. I'm probably going to be in an Apple store really soon, near an Apple store, so I might just do it. It might be one of those kind of, just depending on what mood I'm in when I'm there. I have a feeling I'll be getting one of those though. Nice. Terry, I know, was working kind of with Aqara support, working out some of those kinks early on. Loving the U400 once I got the beta firmware. Nice. Yeah, they were, it sounds like the Aqara support was very good in kind of ironing out some of those UWB kinks. I didn't have any issues, but apparently if you have like kind of a different type of setup or maybe like one or two steps in your area, that I guess early on maybe posed some problems for some people, but it sounds like that's all been worked out. George Langerbeer, the Unify camera setup is winning him over. I've had zero luck with their network problems. So winning you over. So you're starting to like them, it sounds like. Zero luck with their, I've had zero luck with their networking product. Okay, yeah, I love their networking stuff. I've been switching over to the cameras. I actually have been spending some money with Unify here lately. I've got, I got some stuff. I think I posted on Instagram today. I just unboxed one of these contact sensors from Unify. I've been wanting to try out some of these and see what all I can do kind of with their sensors that connect to the SuperLink, the little SuperLink gateway. They've got motion sensors, door sensors. I got the PoE siren. So I've been kind of dabbling with that and seeing what we can do there. I also got one of the what's it called? The Switch Flex. I got one of those to kind of run some other little Ethernet runs around the house. So I'm playing around with some Unify stuff over here as well. Yes, I do jump around. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. I will come back to the questions as we get going here. I usually try to get through some news and stuff like that as much as I can, and then we'll get to all the questions. Thank you, Brian. I will answer this one here since I see it and it's kind of on topic. What is the difference in the U400 Special Edition? Really, the only difference, as far as I am aware, is that the Apple, the one that's sold exclusively in the Apple stores, has like an all metal finish. And also it's sold with an additional battery. So you get like a backup battery with that one. And I believe that is the only difference. But that metal finish does look kind of nice. So I'm thinking about trying it out, getting one just to kind of check that up. Okay, so a couple of things to cover real quick I wanted to share with you guys. First of all is that we've talked about this before, but I doubt there's anybody that's watching this live stream that has not updated to like the more recent architecture within Apple HomeKit. But if you haven't, for some reason, you're going to want to do that soon. Again, we've talked about this some. Here, this is on Apple Home Authority website, but they posted it, and you can see this in a few other places too. Where is it? Here we go. 1 week to go. So apparently the cutoff is February 10th, I believe. Yeah, February 10th it looks like. This updated architecture was introduced way back in like 2022, I think it was. So most of you guys probably have updated, but if not, you're going to want to do that. And just to make sure you're good to go. And hopefully that means some new Apple Home features, updates, products maybe are on the horizon. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Yes, February 10th. Already updated. Ty Boyle says back in the day. Yeah, I did it real early on. They actually pulled it. Do you guys remember that? So when they first introduced it, I updated and a number of people did. And then they pulled it for a while, and I actually didn't have any issues with it initially, that architecture update. I guess some people were having some major issues, and they pulled it for a while. Then they re-released it once they ironed out all the whatever issues there were. But that was a long time ago, so I think probably most of us are good to go. But if not, I just wanted to point that out because that is important if you have an Apple Home setup. Next, I wanted to discuss real quick Matter cameras. So we talked about this a few weeks ago. Matter 1.5 was recently released, which does support cameras. That's very exciting. That is, I think, a big gap in the whole Matter thing that's been going on and taking place last few years, and I think that's really going to move things forward just for like the whole smart home industry is supporting cameras. Cameras are a big piece of the smart home. Again, we talked about this recently, and we're waiting right now for the ecosystems. For one, we're waiting on cameras that actually support Matter, but that should happen real soon, which we're going to talk about. And then also we're waiting on the ecosystems to support Matter. And I actually discussed this a little bit in my last video. That one of the things I'd like to see Apple do is support like the latest Matter spec more, more quickly, I guess is the right way to say that. Once these specs are updated, they're usually pretty far behind with the Matter specs. And I had some comments saying like all the ecosystems take forever, to up. They're usually like a year behind. That's not really true when it comes to like SmartThings, for example. SmartThings, they said they are going to be the first, or they are the first ecosystem to support Matter 1.5, which does support cameras. So SmartThings is doing it. I don't know when Apple is going to support Matter cameras, but hopefully sooner than later, but I'm not super optimistic about that. Turin says Apple will support Matter cameras at 720p. Right. Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. I'm really hoping that this update to support cameras maybe, just maybe, will be the push that will bring higher resolution camera support in the Apple Home app. I don't know if that's just wishful thinking, but Matter cameras do support up to 4K, or they will support up to 4K. The specification does. So I hope that means some updates with Apple Home and camera resolutions, but I don't know, time will tell. But I did want to point out, we knew about some of the cameras that are going to be coming out. I think we're going to see influx in cameras, camera manufacturers that support Matter and therefore will support eventually Apple Home and any smart home ecosystem. I think we might see more camera manufacturers that are maybe lesser known getting into this whole space, which could be nice. We knew about Xthings. We talked about that one. So Xthings has the Ulticam V2 that's going to support Matter. That should be coming out very soon. I think at CES they said it's the first camera that will support Matter. Aqara, we know, I think Aqara also said the same thing. So the Aqara's updated version of the the G3 camera. I forget the new one. It's like the G310 or something like that. That one's coming out soon, and that will support Matter. Also, I did not know that Eve will have a camera. So it looks like Eve has also been working maybe closely with Apple or with Matter to support Matter on their cameras also. So those are the three mentioned here in this article. That says SmartThings has partnered with Aqara, Eve, and Xthings. So we should be able to see some Matter cameras from these three brands, it looks like, pretty soon. Again, don't know when we'll be able to support those in Apple Home, but it's coming. Oh, what's up, HomeKit Authority? Good to see you, John. I hope you're doing well, man. It's been a while. I hope all is well with you. Looking forward to hearing from Shane. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Glad to see you're back. I don't know if you just popped in. I had your website pulled up just a minute ago. We were just talking about the architecture updates, making sure everybody is up to date. And while we're here, let's go ahead and check out some other stuff, some new products that looks like are going to be coming out. So posted over here is a mention of the Dreamy Lightstrip P11, it looks like it's called. This is available, I guess, already in Europe, which is cool. I covered the Dreamy stuff in my CES coverage when I was in Las Vegas. So Dreamy is getting into, Dreamy is getting into absolutely everything. I don't think there was a larger booth, especially, well, it's just beyond smart home. Dreamy, they were like Walmart. They had everything there. I mean, it was unbelievable, including smart home stuff. So they're getting into locks. They had some lights. I think all their lights are Matter over Wi-Fi, and it looks like maybe this light strip will be the first one that's available. I guess it's already available in Europe. Oh, cool. HomeKit Authority says only arrived 2 minutes ago. Nice. Oh, he did. I thought you meant your light strip arrived 2 minutes ago. Nice. Yeah, so they have lights come in. They had a few different Matter lights. Like I said, Matter over Wi-Fi. Nothing that was like mind-blowing or spectacular. Nothing too different that I noticed at CES. They had light strips, some light bulbs. They had some outdoor lights. I think they had like some permanent outdoor lights and maybe some string lights as well. So definitely some stuff to be looking for from Dreamy that will support Matter. And they also had a whole lineup of smart locks, which is cool. So, and I think all their smart locks, if I'm not mistaken, are all going to be Matter over Thread. I didn't see anything with ultra wideband support, but they did have at least one with Apple HomeKey support, and they had just had a few different locks at different price points with Matter over Thread. One of them actually had a screen on it, which can be cool too. So definitely some stuff. Dreamy, like I said, is all over the place. I mean, they were making, gosh, smart glasses, refrigerators, air conditioners. They had a car on display. I don't even really know what that was all about at CES. Just like every hair dryers, toothbrushes, you name it, Dreamy is pretty much into it. Lurkjic, is Dreamy Chinese? Yes, Dreamy is a Chinese company, from what I understand. Let's check in with the chat. Oh, nice. Cody says, I love how these Wednesday chats in Shane's live streams are always made up of half the smart home guys I watch regularly. I just missing Paul, Reed, and Lean. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the time difference might make it difficult for Paul. I've tried to talk him into getting on one of these live streams with me. Maybe one day we'll be able to get him on here. We have had Paul on here. Sorry, not Paul. We have had Reed in a live stream a while back. So maybe we'll do some more guest live streams as well. But yeah, it's so cool to have you guys, George and Terry and all the smart home YouTubers and stuff here in the chat. Great to see everybody. And if I missed you, forgive me. I know we got Edgar's here. There's and a few that pop in and out each week. So that's always a lot of fun. We have a very supportive community, which is awesome. Jeff says, would really like it if Paul would join sometime. All right, we're going to have to send him the message. Paul, if you're listening, I don't think Paul watches these, but we'll try. We'll see what we can do. That would probably be a fun live stream. All right, I see some questions. I'm going to save these. What's up, SeaWorld Chris? Good to see you again. Raul, I'm here late. Glad to make it. Glad you could make it as well, Raul. Let's see here. Paul can wake up for his fans, Turin says. Yeah, I'm sure Paul's a good sport. I'm sure he would be happy to do it one day. Oh, thank you. I see RE11. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Aqara G350. That's the name for the new one. 350, not 310. I don't know what I said, but the Aqara G350 is the new one that's coming out. Let's see, is there anything else news-wise to talk about? I don't really think there's a whole lot more in the news. We talked about the deadline. We talked about the Matter cameras coming out. We're kind of in that kind of slow time right now as far as the whole tech cycle goes, the annual cycle for tech. So not a whole lot, but I do think it's going to be an interesting spring. Hopefully, HomeKit Authority says he has no excuse. Only 2120 in the UK. Yep, there you go. I don't know. He's got a baby, so things are difficult when you have a little one in the house. They can be sometimes anyways. So let's get to some questions and just start chatting about whatever you guys want to talk about. Samuel says it'll be interesting to see what Dreamy actually brings to market. I feel like they're a big bad gorilla banging on their chest, but they're really just little chimps. I don't know, man. They have really done a lot in a very short amount of time. It is crazy. I think they're only like a couple years old. Their vacuums are pretty good. The one from what I know, from what I've used, and I don't know. I mean, it looks like they've got this light strip already coming, but yeah, they were all over the place. I tried out their smart glasses there. It's like a competitor for like the Ray-Ban Metas. I don't know. It will be interesting though. I agree with that. I don't have any plans right now for the next guest to come on, so maybe I need to maybe work on a schedule or something like that and see if we can maybe do a little series, a run for a month or two or something like that and get some guests on, or maybe every other week. We'll see. It's sometimes a little tricky coordinating with everybody, especially for these live streams, because you have to actually be around live, but we'll see if we can work that out again. It's been a little while since we've done that, so. Oh, really? George says Dreamy started back in 2017. I didn't know they were that's still not very old in terms of like tech companies, but I thought they were more recent than that, actually. Okay, let me get to some of the saved questions I have, and if you guys have any new ones, drop them in the chat. Preface your comment with the word question, and we'll see if we can get to them. We'll get to as many as we can. Brian says, let me know if you guys can see this chat bubble. I'm trying to make it so that those on mobile can also see that might be watching the stream on mobile. But Brian asks, has anyone ever had an issue adding HomeKit devices via your phone specifically, but all other iOS devices will add them to the same home without issues? I'm sure there probably are some people who have had these issues. I've noticed it. I've had that issue maybe like once or twice where I'm adding something I just, for whatever reason, it just will not add. And then I just get it like another iPhone or something, and then it goes right in there. That may be related to, the software version on the phone or on the device. Sometimes weird things like that happen. I don't know that there's any rhyme or reason for it. I mean, as long as all your devices are updated, not running betas and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of one of those weird things. If anybody else has any experience with that, let us know. Carl says, hey Shane, have you decided to go to IKEA and pick up a bunch of their new Matter over Thread accessories? Hey Carl, I appreciate the question. I have decided that yes, I am going to do it, but I have not done it yet. So I've decided. I just haven't made the move. The weather here lately definitely put pretty much everything on hold outside of my house. We're not used to snow, so it kind of shuts down everything. So we're just kind of getting through that, and it's definitely on my list of things to do. As I mentioned, I think it was last week, I don't have an IKEA anywhere near me, so it's kind of a day trip kind of thing, at least if I don't decide to stay overnight somewhere. But yeah, it's something I want to do. I keep, it's hard to ignore at this point what IKEA is doing in the smart home space with their their new sensors especially, and they've got a few other products, but their new stuff that's all Matter over Thread, and more importantly, it's just like super, super affordable. That's kind of what's crazy, and that's what I want to check out. Again, it's hard to ignore. There's been a lot of people who have been asking about them, so definitely something I want to do and check out. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably make a video or something about that, kind of like we discussed last week. And like speaking of buttons, just as an example, IKEA's new Matter over Thread button is like $7, I think it is, something like that. Yeah, it's like no more than $7, I'm pretty sure. And then you got other buttons, like for example, this one right here. Airversa finally releases their first smart button with Thread. So this is one we have heard about for a while, and this one's not even Matter. This is just HomeKit over Thread. It is a three button, three button switch. I don't know how you want to say that, but this one is priced at $29.99 US. You know, so I mean that's just to compare. Not to mention when you look at other stuff like Flick buttons, and there's a few others out there. Nothing can compare to the prices of the IKEA stuff. Excuse me. Whew, I don't know where that came from. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. McGorry says, more guests quarterly and more giveaways monthly. More giveaways. I can do some giveaways maybe again. Sometimes giveaways are a bit problematic, but yeah, we'll see. We'll look at doing some more fun stuff for sure in the stream here soon. I don't have any problems with that. I have done some giveaways in the Discord server, like with our members in the past, like maybe, I think December, maybe we did one. But we'll look at doing some more stuff like that. Thank you. KW Tech Trainer says, bless you. Thank you. Remote. Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. See Zunun's Cruise. You guys could probably just enjoy watching me try to pronounce these handles here every week. Sorry if I mispronounce your name or your handle. The question about any input about the garage door opener from Tailwind. Yeah, I have said this before. I'm a huge fan of the Tailwind smart garage door opener. I'm still using the, what do they call it? Was it the IQ? Let me just pull it up. I think it's gotailwind.com. I hope I got that right. I got it right. Can't believe I remember that. They have a new version out, so I use the IQ2, maybe it was, the previous model. I'm still using it, really like it. I do want to upgrade and try the new one, not because I'm having any issues with the current one, just because I've heard really good things about this one, and I think you guys would probably be interested in it too. But I would absolutely recommend Tailwind. I've heard nothing but good things from other people who have been using Tailwind garage door opener. I do actually have, it might be in the live stream description, but if it's not, I have here, let me copy this link. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. This link, if you use this link, this is an affiliate link, but this should give you 10% off, I believe. So I'm going to post that in the chat. If you do decide to get one, save a little bit of money with that link. I'm pretty sure that discount is still active, so check it out. But like I said, heard nothing but good things regarding Tailwind from others. Thanks, Terry. Tom asked, what is better about the new version? There's a few things, and again, I haven't used one, so I'd like to get one and try it out so I can kind of share it with everybody in more detail. But Terry says that it connects directly to digital openers and can add PoE. So that's really nice. I actually do have a PoE, or I have a Ethernet connection like in my garage, because I remodeled my whole garage not too long ago, and I have an Ethernet drop like right where the garage door opener would go, so that would be fantastic probably. I'm actually not even using it for anything else, so that would probably be really good for the garage door opener, so that's another reason why I want to try it, that Ethernet connection. But I haven't had any connection issues with the one that I have now, using it over Wi-Fi. Also, I've heard that some garage door openers, like you don't even have to wire the sensor with this new version. I think that depends on the style or type of garage door opener that you connect it to, but that could be a really nice update too. Not having to run those, those long sensor cables. NF Fireman says, question, I'm confused. How do I update Apple Home? I don't see any way that it can be done. If you're not seeing any prompts, again, this has been like a couple of years since I've done this, so I could be wrong here. But I think if you're not seeing any prompts or anything like that to update to the new architecture in your Apple Home app, you're already on the new architecture and you don't have to worry about anything. If you haven't updated, you should be seeing those prompts. Like, it's something that you would probably know that you need to do if you haven't done it, if you ever use the Apple Home app. So hopefully that helps. Yes, and thank you. HomeKit Authority confirms if you're not seeing any prompts, you're good to go. If you're on iOS 18, then you're definitely okay. Let's see here. We got some more stuff saved. When adding a new Matter device, do you generally recommend adding it first through Apple Home or through the manufacturer's app or hub? That is probably going to depend on who you ask. You guys let me know what you do in the chat here. Some people will go straight Apple Home. Sorry guys for the sniffles. I feel like another sneeze coming on here. But what I generally do is I will usually add a device through the manufacturer's app most of the time, just to see, even if I don't have any plans of really using the manufacturer's app, which I usually don't for almost all of my devices, but I'll usually add the manufacturer's app and then I'll add the device to that first, just to see if there's any updates that maybe won't come through over Matter. Sometimes that might be the case. And also you'll usually be able to see, well, depending on the device type, sometimes there's certain features and attributes that you can only access in the manufacturer's app. Like take a smart lock, for example. If you have a smart lock that supports Matter, but also supports like fingerprint unlocking, you can't program fingerprints in the Apple Home app. You know, that's just an example. Same thing with a lot of lighting products. A lot of times there's different effects and, you know, cool things like that I like to, you know, just check out. That might be partially because I'm a YouTuber and I test a lot of these devices and I want to show you guys what all it's capable of. So that might be part of it. But I just like to see what all the device is capable of. And usually the best way to do that, I think, is through the manufacturer's app. And then I'll share it either from there or then just go to the Apple Home app and add the device in the Apple Home app afterwards. That's how I normally do it. Lone Star Trent says, I rarely use any manufacturer's app. Yeah, same here. I rarely do. Like I said, usually when I'm setting up a new device, I'll do it just to kind of see what all I can do with it. And then also, you know, like I said, any updates and things like that. HomeKit says it depends on the manufacturer, but most of the time I add Matter devices directly to Apple Home and then the manufacturer's app and then to Home Assistant and Homey Pro. So there you go. There's a different way of doing it. So it kind of depends. Lewis says, I got the SwitchBot K11 and want to know if I can see the battery percentage in the Apple Home app. Is this possible? I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. Sometimes these devices are a little different on what they expose to Apple Home. I'm not sure if, and I don't remember off the top of my head if the K11 supports Matter 1.4. Is it 1.4 or 1.2? Excuse me, it might be 1.2. But you should be able to get the battery percentage. I don't have one of this K11, the SwitchBot K11s connected right now to be able to check for you, but I think you should be able to. I wonder if I can find. Let's see if we can find all the devices. I know SwitchBot's pretty good about kind of showing us Let's see. Bluetooth devices. I'm looking through. So SwitchBot actually shows. Close that. So device type, current. So that's through the hub. Let's look for Wi-Fi devices here. Where's the Wi-Fi? I think you can probably just see it. Somebody answered this in the chat. I don't know. Does support? Okay, Cody says K11. Thank you, Cody says K11 does support the newer version of Matter. So that tells me you should be able to get the battery. So that's the Matter bridge. This is Bluetooth devices. I don't see where they're sharing. Oh, here we go. Matter over Wi-Fi. So yeah, it doesn't say battery percentage on here as far as this is just the functionality, but I think you can see the battery percentage. I'm pretty sure because you get the room and see, well, this is K11 plus, so I think that's the same. But you get the different cleaning modes and the room selection, so you should be able to see the battery percentage on there. NF Fireman says, I love the U400 lock. I wish they would get around to selling extra batteries. And Terry said they should be soon. So yeah, that's something I asked them about. And at the time, they don't sell extra batteries. It would be nice. Really, so I initially thought it would be nice to have extra batteries available because, you know, when it gets low, you could just take it out, put the other one in there and charge it while you're using, you know, another one. That's what I did with the Whatley Visage smart lock because that actually did come with an extra battery. But after using the Aqara U400, since they put that charging port on the outside of the lock, it's on the inside of the door, I really like that. All you need is one of these like charging banks. Just hang it from your doorknob if you have one of these, and then just plug it in and let it charge overnight. You don't even have to take the battery out. That's what I'll be doing. So you don't really need an extra battery if you're doing it that way, but it would be nice to have them just in case the battery degrades or you start having issues with the battery over time. You can, you know, just buy a new one to replace. So I agree. I do hope that they start selling them in the future. All right. Let's see what else we got. We answered that one. Larry says, question, Aqara FP300 update on when they're going to be in stock. I think you said around February 13th. My pennies are all saved up and I'm ready to buy 2 of them. I think, Larry, they are available now. Let me pull up Amazon real quick. I checked earlier today, actually, and I think they are still available. Yep, they are available now. So, oh, no, currently unavailable. Dang it. So I was wrong. Crap. Yeah, just a few hours ago, they were showing that they were available. And I actually reached out to Aqara because they said they would hook me up with a new discount code for everybody that I could share with you since they sold out, you know, initially. And I've seen them come up. They'll be like available and then they'll go away. I've seen that off and on a few times in the past month. I was told by like February 10th-ish, they should be back in stock. So hopefully, you know, us seeing them kind of pop in and out means that they're coming soon, but it should be very soon. Sorry, man, if I got your hopes up there. I thought they were available again because they were like most of this morning, it looks like. Yeah, and Raul said available last week. Oh, okay, Dean, thank you. Dean said here, I've got the K11 Plus, but can't see the battery even in apps like Controller or Home Plus. That's interesting. Okay, well, I may stand corrected on that then. I was gonna check like one of my other robot vacuums because I don't have a SwitchBot one connected right now. I'm kind of always moving them in and out. Let me see what I have Because pretty sure some of them do support battery levels. Let's see, let me go to, just gonna see if this one that I have connected right now shows it. Yeah, like I have an Ecovacs right now that I'm looking at in the Apple Home app, and it does show the battery level there, and it shows whether it's charging or not as well. So interesting. So that's one of those things that's kind of weird, I guess. Like it can be different from manufacturer to manufacturer, you know. Gordon, we just been talking about this. The Aqara FP300. It should be in the next, like I'd say within the next 2 weeks, they should be available again based on the last information that I was told around like CES. That's what I was told. So it should be very soon. I'm going to try to get a new discount code for everybody for the FP300. And I'll share that like on my Instagram account for sure. And here in the live streams, I'll try to give that out to everybody if we get one and they're available. And the Aqara FP400, that's their, let me see. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes these names get the best of me and it's hard. So the FP400 is like the updated FP2, right? Yeah, okay. I just had to check the spatial sensor. It's like it's like an updated FP2 sensor, if you guys are familiar with that one. So the question was about the FP400. This one, I don't think this is going to be available until the end of the year. That's just me going off of kind of instinct and kind of trying to analyze my conversations that I had with the car at CES. I did ask them like specifically about like release dates for all their new products that they were talking about. That was the one that they were like, this year, basically. They were like this year, and they really wouldn't give me any more information. So I wouldn't be surprised if that one doesn't come until like later in the year, the second half, or maybe the very end of 2026. I could be totally wrong about that, but that's the one that they really wouldn't give me much information on as far as the release date goes. So, take it for what it is. Larry said, do you remember what the old discount coupon was? I don't. They always give me like a weird one. It might, I think I removed it from my video description. I was going to say it might be in that video description, but they'll generate a new one. They always do. So I don't think the old one will work anyways. But just follow me on Instagram if you're really looking for that. And as soon as I'm able to get the discount code, I'll definitely post it on my Instagram stories. Maybe I'll make a reel or a post or something about it. Maybe I'll also post it as a post on YouTube, but I'll definitely share it immediately on Instagram. That's usually my go-to in between all the YouTube videos and stuff. All right, I see a few duplicate questions. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I promise. I'm saving the questions. I'm flagging them, and I'm gonna get to them as quick as I can. Lurk Jerk says, I have a U200 smart lock and M3 hub. Is it smart to add the lock to the hub? Yeah, I would. Yeah, you can connect well, you really don't have to for that one. But yeah, usually I have an M3 hub also, and I usually connect any of my Aqara stuff to an M3 hub. And yeah, I don't think it's going to do any harm. Mark, appreciate the question. Mark says, are you using the FP300 via Zigbee or Thread? Are all your automations in Apple Home? So I'm using my FP300 over Zigbee. I prefer to use all the Aqara stuff over Zigbee when possible. So like, some of y'all know like some of their new switches and the FP300 sensor and stuff like that can support Thread and Zigbee. I should say Thread or Zigbee. You have to choose one. I just prefer to go with Zigbee. Typically, it's just been rock solid and proven in my house using Zigbee, especially Aqara stuff. So I usually go with Zigbee. Just works really well. And then next question was, are all your automations in Apple Home? No, they're not. Not anymore. So I started moving a lot of my automations over to, I'm mostly using Homey Pro now for a lot of my automations. I still have some automations for sure in Apple Home, but a lot of my, especially my more advanced automations are in Homey Pro now. I kind of went back and forth over the past year or so using Home Assistant and Homey and trying different things. I do still use Home Assistant for some things, but I just like creating automations in Homey Pro. This is just for, when you want to create more advanced stuff. I just really like the user interface of Homey Pro. And so I've been using that mostly, and you'll see that kind of come out in some of my videos here and there where I do more of like behind the scenes stuff, or some of my automation videos. You might see me using Homey Pro, but yeah, you could also use Home Assistant for pretty much everything I'm doing there, but HomeKit is a little limited in some of your more advanced, automation capabilities and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Good to hear. Hair Riot says, speaking of Homey Pro, I need to thank y'all for that recommendation. Has completely changed my automation game and smart home. Hey, man, that's awesome. Good to hear. Yeah, it's really nice. Their automation engine is very nice. Very, very nice. Brian asked earlier, can't remember if I asked last week, but any idea when the LifeX thread update is coming? I think you did ask last week, or somebody asked last week. I remember that question. I do not know. I really don't know much about that. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that for sure. Will there be Matter cameras and doorbells, Ethan asked, with Matter QR codes? I'm assuming that'll be the case, yeah. So, we'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm sure once these Matter cameras are released, it'll either come with the QR code, or maybe, we've seen in the past, like some products, you have to use a manufacturer's app to generate the QR code for Matter in their app. Maybe they'll have to do something like that, especially early on. Not really sure, but there will surely be a Matter QR code somehow, I assume, if it's like all the other devices. But time will tell. I have not been able to use a Matter camera yet, but hopefully very soon. Hair Riot says it's finally fun. I love that. I love that, man. I agree, man. I do enjoy building automations in Homey versus, Home Assistant. It's very capable, but it just always felt like so much work, and it stresses me out. So it's fun. It's good for the visual folks, I think, like us who, very visual. You can drag and drop, and it's super easy, and it's great user interface. Let's see, Justin asked, Aqara versus Abode for alarm systems. Well, I guess I'd have to answer this with Abode would probably be my answer for me specifically. And there's really one or two reasons why I choose Abode. In my house, I have used Aqara before, and I have actually set up Aqara alarm security systems for other people. They're both great DIY systems. There's some things I don't like about both of them. What I do like about Abode, and probably the main reason why I'm using that, is because it has a battery backup on their hub. So if you lose power, the hub and the sensors and all will still work off that battery. Which, you can find some ways to kind of do that yourself with Aqara using like a UPS or some sort of power banks and stuff like that. But it's built into Abode. Also, Abode does have options for cellular backup and professional monitoring. You do have to pay for those services, which I don't typically, but another thing that is cool about Abode is that you can like pay for the professional monitoring and then cancel it if you're like going out of town for a while or whatever. If you do want professional monitoring, you can get that, but you don't have to have it. Again, there are some things I don't like about Abode. Their app drives me crazy. Like if you're using it free, they've got ads in the app, and it's really that's gotten worse over the last few years. So I don't like that. Aqara is very good for just DIY. If you don't care about the battery thing, especially, it's a great setup. DIY, obviously no professional monitoring. But I love the Aqara products, and you can definitely build out your own security system. Again, I've done that for a few people in my life, and it's either one is a good DIY system. You just have a few more options. Another thing too, I'll say, with the Abode that's always drawn me towards Abode a little bit is the keypad. They have a keypad option that you can mount on the wall. It's battery powered, so a battery will last like at least 6 months on the keypad. That's been really good for me, just for my family to use to arm and disarm the security system. Aqara doesn't have anything like that traditionally. We're at a point now where Aqara has more of these products coming out that I think could be used as a security keypad. They've got that thermostat hub coming out, which you could probably use as some sort of keypad. I'm not really sure about that, but you might be able to do something like that. Also, in like Europe, they've got their touch panel, which you could use also, which would be a really nice keypad and kind of like a little hub dashboard you could use. So there's more options now for a car for something like that, but just like a traditional old keypad with buttons on it, they don't have one like that, which is something I do like about Abode. So kind of a long-winded answer there, but hopefully that helps. Oh, nice. I was just looking into this the other day. Lurk Jerk says alarm systems on Homey with Heimdall. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Should be great too. Nice. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I actually was, like I said, looking into that because I've been playing around with these recently. Again, going back to the beginning of the live stream here. These are the Unify sensors, and I've been looking and seeing like maybe can I create a security system all in Unify stuff? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that simple. Again, the keypad thing is kind of holding me up there because I really need to have a keypad that my family can use. And right now, Unify does not sell anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe one day they will, but I really, I'd like to be able to do that. But Unify stuff is a little more closed off than some of these other systems. So I don't know if I'll be able to get it into HomeKit very easily, and something I'm playing around with. But I was looking at that Heimdall plugin or app to kind of build out a security system there, which I might play around with that some more. Torrance says Alarmo and Home Assistant. It's another one. Yeah, I was looking at that also too. So my problem, I'm getting real deep in the weeds here. My problem with the Unify stuff so far is that I haven't found a way, and I've just started messing with this, so I might be missing something, but I haven't found a way to get the alarm modes or those like custom alarms that you can set up exposed to any other ecosystem. So I haven't been able to get those into Homey or even Home Assistant, obviously not HomeKit either. And so that's kind of prevented me from being able to use some of those systems with the Unify stuff, but I'll keep playing with it. Maybe we'll have an update for you in the near future. few more questions we'll get to here. Any door sensors that can work outside a gate? I'm thinking of rain, cold, and sun exposure. So I have been using actually Aqara contact sensors. They're really affordable. I've been using those outside on my gate. And I did a video probably like 2 years ago. If you dig deep enough, you'll find the video. But I automated both of my gates that go to my backyard with Aqara contact sensors. They're really affordable, so I figured even if they didn't last, it would be not the end of the world. But they've held up very well. And what I do is I just bought some little waterproof boxes, and they fit in the sensors fit perfectly in there. And then I got a magnet for the other side. Instead of using the little piece, I just got a big, strong magnet, put that on the other side. And it's been working great for like 2 years and haven't had any issues with it. I think the battery might drain a little bit faster. So instead of like every 2 or 3 years, I have to change the battery maybe like every year or year and a half, which is still better than most other brands of contact sensors and stuff. But that's what I've been doing on my gates to automate my gates. Yeah, so I saw some comments about Alarmo, and I think using the Ring keypad. I was looking at that too. But again, if I can't get those, I want to be able to use the Unify alarm system. So I haven't been able to get those into Home Assistant in order to, set up that whole security system. We'll see. Let's see. Terry's is using the Ring outdoor contact sensors. Okay, Z-Wave based. So if you're using something like Home Assistant, you could use those. Yeah, and especially if you have a long range and you are using Home Assistant, look into that new, I forget the name of it, but that new long range Z-Wave antenna thing that they have. That would probably be really good if you have a long distance you need to cover. Those things look pretty incredible. Effectual Insurrection says, would you still recommend Ecobee for a 3-story townhouse? Yeah, so I like Ecobee for my thermostats. I don't like Ecobee for security sensors and stuff like that, which I did a whole video diving deep into that and why. But it's always been my preference for thermostats, and I'll say that with a little asterisk. So at CES, we got to see Aqara's new thermostat that's coming out, should be very soon. And when I first heard they were making a thermostat, I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. There's been a number of thermostats that have come out. Eve has a new one. There's a few other ones. I don't get super excited about thermostats just because, one, Ecobee has worked really well for me, and two, changing out thermostats as you're like testing and making YouTube videos and stuff sucks when you live with other people. So it's not something I generally do just because, and I have done it before, if you mess up something or whatever doesn't work right or you have issues, and next thing you know, especially in the summertime here, the house is like 85, 90 degrees inside, your family will be pissed off, and I don't like going through that, so I usually don't even bother with like new thermostats. That said, when I saw the new Aqara one and saw what it actually was, this one right here, this thermostat hub W200, and saw what all it can do, I was pretty interested. And I was like, okay, I think this is going to be maybe the first thermostat that I'm actually willing to test out and try ever since like switching like the Ecobee stuff because of all it can do. So if you're not in a hurry, you might want to wait and see, what everybody thinks about that one once it comes out. If you are in a hurry, then absolutely the Ecobee stuff is great. But I am curious to see how that W200 from Aqara compares to Ecobee and if it's something that I would want to keep long term because it looks pretty awesome. So that's my thoughts on thermostats. Yeah, I think I did blow a fuse. Ricardo, I have not heard anything about the Aqara H1 VoiceMate, actually. I haven't heard anything about that in a while. I'm not sure where they're at on that one. Let's see if we got any other questions I can get to. I know I probably missed a few. The Circuit Seeker says, how do you rekey the U400? Take it down to Home Depot. That's what I would do. It does use, I think, a Schlage cylinder, so it should be fairly easy for anybody that can rekey a lock. Obviously, you could get a locksmith to do it, or if you're comfortable or familiar with it, you can do it yourself if you have a kit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just the Schlage. A Schlage cylinder. They use a Schlage key, I think, so should not be very difficult to do. Again, I would just take it down to Home Depot and pay like $5 to do it. That's what I would do. All right, well, guys, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question. I'll say we had quite a few today. I tried to get to as many as I can, but we do have that member live stream or that member chat coming up soon. So I'm going to have to get all ready for that. And for all you channel members here in the chat, hop over to Discord. In about less than 30 minutes, we'll be starting our member-only monthly chat, which I'm excited to do. We didn't actually get to do one in January because of like CES and all the traveling and stuff. So very excited to hang out with everybody over there this evening. And otherwise, I appreciate all y'all for hanging out, talking smart home tech. I think it's going to be an exciting year. We should see a lot of fun stuff coming this year. I know I'm excited about some things. So definitely stay tuned. Again, you can follow me over on Instagram for more updates and kind of behind the scenes and stuff throughout each week in between all the YouTube videos and YouTube live streams. And for all the members, I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.